a better day today, since we have already laid some foundation, and therefore what we would learn today would be like we are building on top of what we learned last week. Last week we had two classes, Sunday and Saturday, and we reminded ourselves of what we ought to do as what project management rather is all about. We also talked about project management processes, which are told us about five major process groups, talking about initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, then closing. We went on and on to look at certain terminologies like tailoring, which I said there is no two projects that is the same. And then I told us that as project managers, there are some vocabularies that are expected of us to use. And these vocabularies can actually transfer our perspective to the next person in business with us. So we have to learn those terminologies and start using them. Anna told us about what project is all about. I said project is a temporary endeavor undertaking to create unique products, services, or results. We also went on to define what project management is. I said project management is the application of knowledge. That is, the project manager or the project team member must know something about project management. And that is the essence of this class. Must know something. So it's the application of knowledge, tools, skills, and techniques to obtain project results. So we looked at the industry too and how demands are increasing for project managers and what we can do to best position ourselves for this. We talked about we ensuring that we learn everything we ought to learn. We be in class, we participate in the given assignment, we ensure that we create time to come and be part of the class. Even if we miss a class, we should try and see the videos and do what others are doing. We talked about the environment in which projects operate. We looked at the enterprise environmental factors. We talked about the organizational process asset. Yeah. We looked at lots of other things to say. Haven't done that. Today we're gonna be moving into something new, something different, but not like something that is far away from what we have done. No, it's not too far away. We are only going to be building further. So before we continue, I would like to ensure that we are in line with expectations for this class. I gave some responsibilities to us, like to pick from two questions and just do a paragraph and come and talk about it. Quite sure that some of us could have done I'm quite sure that some of us could have done that responsibility given to us last week. Those two questions that are there. So let's go. Who did it? Who did it? Let's hear from one of us. Who did it? All right. Who is speaking first? Uh-huh. So who is speaking? Nobody. Nobody did the assignment. And I told you how easy it was to get it done. Hmm. It wouldn't be fair for us to learn and not participating. You tried, but you didn't finish. What did you? It's not. This is something you could have once if you tried, you already know what it is. Like what I said, the whole thing is for you to now summarize all what we have learned. And if you really did try, you have something to talk about. I'm not even expecting you to come here and not even have a note by your side. Uh-huh. You should have a note by your side. Nobody's there with you to know if you are doing if you are reading from your note. But the truth is that when you go over a thing, whether you read from your note or not, you have done it. So you read one, you're going to be speaking. Somebody has to save the class. Oh yes, it won't be nice. We must ensure that we have good knowledge of what we have done before we can move forward. Okay, so Olaita, you are unmuted. You want to say something?
Yes, I'm trying to look where the assignments. I'm coming now.
Okay, there must be a savior of the class. There must be a savior of the class. And it's like Olaita wants to save his classmates. This is how it should be. While we are waiting for him, the read one, you said you tried but you didn't finish. Okay, you will stop where you stopped. Okay, kindly unmute. Okay, Olaita, are you back? That assignment is easy. Even as we are here now, somebody could have done it 3 times. We will not move forward if we are not having anybody to come and talk about them.
Can I read it out?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, different organizational structures significantly influence how projects are managed, especially in terms of decision making, authority, communication, and delivery timeline. In a functional structure, decision making is centralized, and project manager have limited authority, often resulting in slower communication and delayed timeline. On the other hand, a projectile structure grants full authority to project managers, enabling faster decision and direct communication, which usually leads to quicker delivery. Uh,
Yeah, so
Matrix structure. Now, the matrix structure, whether weak, balanced, or strong, offer a mix of both worlds, but can lead to confusion if roles are not clearly defined. I think that is
that's
where
where
I stop.
okay. Azizat said she wants to try something. You have a light, and yes, you did very well for putting that together. It means that you are ready to want to make difference. Let's give Azizat an opportunity to speak. Azizat, kindly unmute. Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
sir. Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much.
The second question says that research how a solid business case and benefit management plan lay the foundation for successful project approval, funding, and delivering, especially in large organization or public sector environments. So, in summary, a solid business case and benefit management plan are critical tool for securing project approval, funding, and successful delivery, particularly within large organization and public sector environments. The business case provide a compelling justification for the project, outlining strategy alignment, cost benefit analysis, risk assessment, and value for money, which are essential for decision makers allocating limited resources. Meanwhile, a benefit management plan ensure that the proposed outcome are clearly defined, measurable, and linked to organizational goals in complex and highly securitized setting like the public sectors, where accountability and transparency are paramount. This document demonstrates due deli- diligence and enhance stakeholders' confidence together. They form the foundation for governance, guide inform investment decision, and support ongoing tracking to ensure that the participated benefits are realized throughout the project's life cycle. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, um, that is about business case, right?
Yes, sir. Research how a solid business case and benefit management. That's
Okay.
the second question.
You have a question? Okay,
No,
that's
no,
the
no, no.
second.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now you can understand that the business case, from what you've said, the business case, it's just like a petition. It's just like a blueprint sent out to senior management, put together by the project manager or the research team about how the business is what being invested into. That is what it is. That is the business case. It's argumentative. You are trying to prove a point there that this business is what
Yes, sir.
investing into. Without you demonstrating the knowledge is, first of all, you have to look at the identified need. What is the problem that you think if we should put in this money in, we will be capturing profit, we will be solving problems. Maybe our own organizational problems or societal problems or problems for the public, like for the government. You see? Now you want to talk about the need, you define the need very, very well. You still would look at what it takes to respond to the needs identified. How much you think the project would cost. And that's why you talked about cost benefits analysis. For every single dime that is expended, how much are we going to get back? How much are we getting back? That may be a ratio, cost benefit ratio. Can you see that? Telling you that, wow, it's 1:2. Huh? Seriously? 1:2 means that we're going to be making 100% of all our investment. It's 1:3. That is, we're going to be making 150% of our investment. So you are proving that to senior management. And when they look at you, want to even demonstrate to them how you intend to capture this plan. How you intend to realize the strategic goal, the business objectives. That's what you want to demonstrate. So the project governance, the project leadership can support the sponsorship of your project. And certain times, business case is not only defined for a whole project. It may be that you're coming up with a single idea that you want the department to look into. You have identified a user need, and you want to tell them, if we do this, do that, or maybe we change our pattern, retwig our processes into capturing this and that, we would finish faster, and our customers will prefer us above our competitors. Now you put together a business case, right? That's so beautiful. Put together a business case. So I'm still going to be giving us a responsibility, not today, tomorrow. So let's move on, one step at a time. I think we could have done more today, but I want to take it one step at a time, so um, you will not be muchly bombarded. So I want us to talk about you as the project manager in the cooler. I want us to talk about you, the rock star, that is the project manager that is in the making. The project manager that soon people will start respecting, people will start calling here and there. I want us to talk about your responsibility. What is expected of you to do? What are your job functions? What are your job descriptions? First of all, who is a project manager? And what would be the role of the project manager? I would say the role of the project manager is not like the job that everybody on the project will do. And it's different from these departmental heads, which we talked about in the functional organizational structure. The very Olaitan was talking about the functional organizational structure, the matrix organizational structure, and in it, he was looking at the mixed matrix and the balance matrix, and so forth. So now the project manager's job is different from the functional manager, or maybe the operations managers. Now his own responsibility is to ensure that the performing organizations realize benefit as regards the project. First, by choosing the right project, he has to guide them in choosing the right project. And that is the very first thing I like to advise my clients. Do not choose a project yourself. Unintelligently, you go ahead and choose a project because you have the money and you're looking for a project manager to come and turn things around. No. We start by choosing our project with what is called the project selection criteria. Why did you choose that project? The project selection, there might be more than 5, 10, 15 investment needs around the world. A road construction is calling. If we go into road construction, we could make some money. Bridge construction could be there. Low cost housing may be calling on us. Supporting startups could be beckoning on us. So which one? We don't have the money to go for everything. And even if we have the money, should we now put our money into every project that seems to be lucrative without understanding their individual peculiarity? I would say no. So let's come up with selection criteria. And at this time, we sit down with our team. As a project manager, you call the project manager and you assign the project manager early. You sit down with your team and say, okay, and we see that there's a high demand in this product here and another. So what should we do? Now the project manager will not come up with the project selection criteria. What is the project selection criteria? The advantages that a particular project will bring in to the organization that maybe others may be lacking. And all this starts with the strategic goal of the organization. Every organization must have a strategic goal. What is the strategic goal? That's like 5 years goal, what they want to achieve, where the field will be nice and fair for them to operate. And these strategic goals, like I said last time, can be cascaded into two levels. One, tangible goals. Tangible? Yes, something touchable, something seeable, and that is money. The intangible may not be something touchable, something seeable. It could be like how if we play here, if we embark on this project, our team can now understand how to do projects with AI, which means we have diversified. We don't want to make profits here, we just only want to learn. We don't want to make profits here. We just only want to position ourselves strategically for the future. That is an intangible goals. So after today, you may be contracted. Don't wait to hear it twice. You may be contracted by organizations around the world to put together their strategic plan. And you're going to be speaking from this perspective. So, in their strategic plans, you would have the project selection criteria put in there. So and so project, we will not do it. Bridge project, if we have to do bridge construction, we will do this kind. You just have all this arranged. And this pathway you are creating is what will take the organization to its desired 5 years destination, its speculated destination. So the project manager helps out in the selection of projects. Some project owners may not be intelligent enough to know this. And by the way, in project management, we say that sponsors, project owners truly do not know what they want. And our own baby is to ensure that we present to them what is most realistic and what they should be loving. We define their desire by collecting requirements and ensuring that their desires are realistic. As a project manager, you have a sphere of influence. Everything that has to do with the project, you can now flex your muscle and create certain influence into the desired result. And also, even in your organization, the performing organization that is sending you out, do you know that you can also influence their budget? And how do you influence their budget? You come up with a business case telling them what is appropriate for them to invest according to your most recent knowledge. So you can influence other stakeholders in the organization and also in the industry. As project managers, you have contributions to make. Like I told us the other day, I have a book titled How to Make It Big as a Project Management Consultant. That's a contribution. That is how we influence the industry. We come up with some new terms, things which I have discovered over years, and put it therein. Once you come in and start studying, you will adopt it, and all of a sudden, the industry is influenced by me. Then we have the professional discipline. As project managers, we must contribute knowledge and expertise to people that are coming behind, like what I'm doing right now. I'm holding you by the hands, working you through, taking you through the professional lands of project. Yeah, and at this time around, we say, well, let's do it internationally. In as much as we are looking at the international spectrum, we still have local personnel calling for knowledge here and there, but though nobody is local when it comes to project. What is international over there is what is local here. So that is that. The project manager competencies. What are your competencies? I want you to think about your expertise in three ways. Technical project management, which means you must have the domain knowledge. If we're talking about if we're talking about pharmaceutical project, you have to be able to organize yourself how to manage pharmaceutical projects. Can you see that? That is a technical project management skill. You are narrowing it to that field. It could be furniture, it could be market research, it could be data analysis, it could be cloud computing. But now you can understand the processes that you must deploy in to ensure that there is a great success in the that's your technical project management expertise. As a project manager, what are the mix of knowledges you have in your portfolio that will enable you succeed on every project? This training is one. Then, number two is leadership. Remember, you're going to be leading people. Some of them could be architects. Some of them may be civil engineers. Some of them may be group of professors. And these professors may be people who have not been subjected to listen to somebody. And always they want to talk and prove some formulas on the board and to tell people how good they are in their field. So that's why I say you need very good leadership skill. How to deal with these people with love and ensuring that their ego is not stopping the project's success. Ensuring their pride are only supporting the advancement of the project. Yes. In fact, what are we even doing, sir? This product that we want to to build, which industry would have it? How do we ensure that once we are done, people will use it, people will pay for it? That is where strategic and business management skill comes in, like the word strategic. Strategic, it's like 5 years and above. So you need a project that a product at the end of your project that will remain. You need a service that will remain. You need a result that will persist in the market for a longer time. Not that as you're through with it, after 2 months, people are no longer buying it. New things have been put in place, and all of a sudden, all your investment costs are being jettisoned without realizing it. So you must understand business. You need to understand business analysis. You will understand it here as we're talking. You're understanding it. I'm transferring it to you. As you're listening, you can understand that, okay? So which means we have to consider the people that will buy the product from us. Uh-huh. All right. So which of these would they like to buy? You know, you keep on doing that. So I've actually looked at all these. Now, let's say for leadership style, we have different kinds. We have the laissez-faire, we have the transactional, we have the servant leader, we have the transformational, we have the charismatic, and we have the interactional. I don't know what area I fall. I don't know. But I think some of you may know your own area. Laissez-faire is somebody who kind of show less concerns, to project problems and some challenges. It could be conflict arising on the project, and they are like, it's okay now, it will take care of itself. Can you see that? Then there are some leaders that are transactional. Aside that job, they don't care about what you are passing through. They don't care. Whether you're crossing the Atlantic Ocean to come to work, they don't care. As long as they've paid you to do the job, you do not have the right to make complaints. Then we have the servant leader. The servant leader is so beautiful, where which the the leader, you the project manager, wants to pour yourself into the mentees, into project management team members. You want to ensure that they have known what you know by guiding them, giving them precepts and the right pace in time, where to place their feet, when to stand up and when to stoop, when to shout or whisper. That's servant leadership. I know everybody would like that. Everybody would like that. Servant leadership sounds like somebody frying akara for you with egg and still pet you to eat it and teach you how to eat akara and bread and you know these are all a wagon and bread. Wow, this is servant leadership. There are some leaders, they have this patience. They have it. They may have it with some people, and sometimes they may not have it with some people, you know. So all these are things that you need. But certain times, the servant leadership may be too sluggish for you to achieve project result. That is why you see in some project they will say they need 10 years experience, they need 15 years experience, they need 20 years experience. They just need people that when they say one thing twice, once, twice will they hear. So you must know what area. Me, I was blessed when I started my project management career. It was servant leadership relationship I had, where I was even paid to learn, come to work, all what is needed for me to work. I'm allowed to fail, and I still can find food to eat in the office during lunch. So, and can you see today I'm doing well because of that. But you must know when it's applicable. Then transformational. Huh? It sounds like the servant leader. At the end of the day, everybody who starts the project with you will become something more. Then we have some people with high leadership charisma. Leadership is their baby. Some are interactional. They treat you like somebody of equal. As they talk to you, they don't talk to you like you don't know what you're doing. They talk to you like their mates. Yeah. So we have another one that we may like to add to this that would bring the difference, and which is your personality. That one is very important. When the personality is not helpful, there is nothing much one can do. So personality is about our individual differences, the way we think, how we perceive some things, the way we behave. Each project, organization, and situation requires that the project manager emphasize different aspects of personality. What are the different aspects of personality? You must be authentic. And when you're dealing with people and investors' money, you must be cautious and be creative. You don't want to start fetching water and be feeding your team members from a stagnant pool. You need some shakers. You have to stir the water and pour up some, beautiful, innovative things that will spark them, by the day. And when somebody look at how you have gotten certain things, also, wow, this man is brilliant. This is then cultural. I'll tell you a story. Like when I started, that's about 2010. Yeah, we had this construction manager, and very funny. I want to understand culture. I wanted to understand culture. This construction manager was an American. but its origin is Nigeria. But maybe all through his adult life, he has been leading some international projects. And when we Nigerians, the younger ones, the trainees, want to address him, in the office they call them by their first name, and you interact with everybody like educated people, and sometimes you may be carried away and wanting to go and talk to him the way everybody talks, the way they address him, the way they call his name, and the way they don't just speak to him. He will gather us in the office. Do not forget that I'm a chief in Agbo. You pay fine. Can you hear that? That is to say that you guys are Nigerians. But because of this project, you have to completely disrespect me. Don't you know calling me by my name? And so, in fact, use chief. Don't send it there. Use chief. So these are, you must understand the cultural differences of team members, where they're coming from and how to treat them. Because what respect is in a place might be disrespect in another place. Like, there's this culture in Nigeria, the Yoruba culture. You don't stand greeting your elder. You don't stand. You prostrate. Not to talk of you now greeting your elder and then you're shaking your hands out. Yeah, the person may not tell you because of the business that had brought both of you together. But if the person is, just imagine that you are not from there and you, the younger one, have to greet the person prostrating. The person will give you all what it takes for you to succeed in that area. He is full of respect. This guy is so humble. And that's how they would describe you. So the rest is intellectual. All these are your personality, your managerial ability, and political. Very important. Your business case is a political hook. How to make bargain and ensure that more money is allotted to your area, to your project is important. And your service oriented, your social life. Do you understand systems? Yeah. Yeah. I told us about the project management. By the way, let me make sure we are all here and then we can hear ourselves. So, who want to give me a feedback? Can you hear me? Have you been hearing me? Okay, that's nice. Okay, now you can hear me. Let's move on. We are almost rounding up the class for today. I could have loved for us to do more, but I'm looking at your body language. I just touched your necks and see that it's warm a little, so let me don't overload you. Right. So take a look at this chart. Very beautiful chart. This is everything about project management. Though some of it is extended into the next page. This is everything about project management. After today, some of you will print this in and put it on your wall in the house. And you will use it to guide yourself. Now you see the process groups and knowledge areas. Taking a look at the left hand column, you see the knowledge areas at the left hand column, moving from project management integration, which is one, project management integration management, project scope management, number 3, project schedule management, project cost management, number 5, project quality management, number 6, project resource management. Do you know that at the end of this training, you're going to have knowledge in all these areas? We have the project communication management, we have the project risk management. Once you are through with this, you can be a risk manager. We have the project procurement management. You can be a procurement officer. We have the project stakeholder management. You may be the reliant manager in your organization. So let's go back up and see what is there. What is there? Then go back to the top. You will see the project management process groups, and there are 5: initiation process group, planning process group, executing process group, monitoring and control process group, closing process group. Yeah. So, which means I want us to pick one. Let's pick project integration management, which is number 1. You find out that in project integration, when you want to carry out project integration, like the word implies, integration, you want to ensure that every bits and pieces of the project are being brought together. You chain them, to understand the trade-offs. What is being done here, how what is being done here can influence what should be done there. And what we are doing in finance, how can it influence the time? What we have done in planning, how can we, take advantage of it during executing? That's why you see the project integration management. As you move to your right, you see the first thing we do when we want to carry out project integration management is to develop what is called the project charter. That is your first responsibility. And after the project charter is being developed, you move on to what is called the develop project management plan. You see, the project management plan now is that book, is that Bible that guides what you're going to be doing on the project. Everything that must be done is speculated in the project management plan. If you have the project management plan as your output from the develop project charter phase, what happens? You have the plan. After plan, what do? Execution. That is, you move into direct and manage project work. You cannot direct and manage project work with the knowledge is identified and speculated, enshrined in the develop project management plan, in the project management plan. So you direct and manage the project work. While you are directing and managing the project work, you must ensure that they are learning things and you are managing the project knowledge. New things will be defined, new things will be discovered, new things will be identified, and now you now know how to get things done better. So that which you have learned, you must archive it. Then while you're doing that, you must carry out monitoring and control of the project work. If you do not control the project in line with the project management plan, what would happen? The project will fail. As you haven't done that, you carry out what is called perform integrated change control. Changes want to enter into your project. You have planned that so and so time you could have done this because of one delay, because of one rain, because of one supplier who did not come up with materials. You cannot now do it. So these are changes coming to change your project schedule, coming to change the cost. You may get to the market, and in the market, something could be of a different price, whereas what we thought it could be or something less, but now it's 20% high. That would affect the budget. So what are we going to do? At this point, we need to initiate what is called the change control system. Then at the end of the day, we close the project or we close the phase. So this is the first knowledge area. And this is what we're going to be talking about when we meet tomorrow. When we meet tomorrow. When we meet tomorrow. When we meet tomorrow. We have not learned so much today, but we still have learned. I'm not going to give you a responsibility today, but tomorrow I'll give you a responsibility. But ensure that you do it. I've told us lots of things, but we have not done it. I want us to invite people. Let me tell you about it. If you have more persons into this class, you will learn better. People can import challenges they are facing in their projects and ask us here in this forum. And once we start explaining it, you will see that you can use that to now start getting insight